and I am a candidate for the Master of Education in Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. This video will give you an overview of the Capstone project I completed at Tianjin International School, or TIS, located in Tianjin, China. The Capstone project I chose for this program is titled Using the SAMR Model in Tianjin International School's 6th through 8th grade as a Framework for Technology Integration During Peer Coaching. TIS is a private early childhood through grade 12 international school. It is accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, also known as WASC. This Capstone project emerged from the report from a visit of the WASC Accrediting Committee. This committee identified 5 critical areas and specific items in need of further development within the school action plan. The areas of focus include professional development, assessment, curriculum and instruction, communication, and student services. The committee recommended that our school action plan include specific steps for technology integration in all areas. In this Capstone project, the plan was to focus on the critical areas of professional development and curriculum and instruction. A key element of the plan for the Capstone project was to develop agreement on effective instructional methodology for TIS middle school students to meet standards and student learning goals. This would be accomplished during pre-planning when I, as a technology coach, would introduce and explain to the middle school division the 2 research-based models. Additionally, the plan included a system to coach and support classroom teachers to build skills to meet the norms and expectations in the use of technology. Once teachers were exposed to the technology models, they would be invited to participate in the peer coaching process that would allow them to use these models as frameworks for technology implementation. When teachers would enroll to peer coaching, they would participate in a technology integration survey that would provide me with important information about the level of technology integration, or LOTI, of each teacher. The effectiveness of the implementation of technology using the SAMR matrix would be assessed throughout the year. I would receive feedback from collaborating teachers through meetings and opinion surveys. I would meet as a technology coach with teachers periodically to address any questions and concerns through the implementation process. At the end of the implementation period, the data would be analyzed and shared in a final meeting with collaborating teachers implementing technology with the SAMR matrix. The plan was to discuss in these meetings the elements that worked and the elements that needed to be adapted for future use. Initially, I thought I could take advantage of the online workshop created for the Professional Learning and Technology Innovation course in order to introduce teachers to the SAMR model and TPAC framework to establish common language. However, due to the timing of the distribution of the workshop, which took place during the summer, only 2 members of the middle school division staff participated in it. I then conducted a face-to-face presentation in which I would introduce these frameworks to familiarize teachers with the approaches the school would take for technology integration prior to meetings. During pre-planning, I was introduced to the faculty as a mentor and coach for technology integration in middle school division. I would work with the IT department to move in the direction of meeting the school's technology goal. In the divisional meeting, I presented the necessary information about TPAC and SAMR models and their importance on meeting the goals of the school as a whole. Many teachers didn't realize that the SAMR model was part of our action plan, nor did they know what it was or how to use it. During this meeting, all middle school teachers were highly encouraged to set up a meeting with me to determine a personal technology goal. Teachers were asked to complete the technology integration survey to determine the LOTI level as well as specific needs. Out of the 14 teachers in middle school, 8 set up the meeting and participated in the survey. This survey revealed key information that allowed me to gauge how to collaborate with my colleagues. Prior to any meetings for peer coaching, I met with the administrators and IT department in order to gain better understanding of the type of support teachers would receive. The team decided that in addition to peer coaching, teachers would take part in additional professional development in the form of short workshops. I would also have an integral part in the leadership of these workshops in order to raise awareness and interest throughout the school and establish my role in technology leadership. Throughout the fall and the beginning of the spring semesters, I had several teacher collaboration meetings in order to determine the specific needs of teachers. Teachers were requested to meet with me at least 3 weeks before they would need to implement the strategy that I would share with them in order to provide me with ample time for research. During these preliminary meetings, key questions were addressed using planning forms. After the meetings, I spent time exploring specific strategies and resources that would be relevant to teachers in their quest to enhance the units or lessons they would be working on. Through these meetings, the professional development workshops, teachers were provided with many tools and resources that would allow them to implement technology in their classroom, meeting their specific needs and goals. Some of the most useful tools were Zoho Docs. This tool is a collaborative platform that would overcome the issues of firewall restrictions in our host country. Gizmo Learning or FET Interactive, which are simulations and interactive guided practice in mathematics and science to increase student independence. I also shared English Central to improve English language learners' listening and speaking skills. Actively Learn, an e-reading platform to improve reading comprehension. Urgent Evoke or Pen Pal Schools to promote authentic projects and global awareness. One of the major obstacles I found was the teacher's current workload. Due to the school's recent evaluation, administrators are actively seeking to meet the school-wide established goals. This translated into various professional development initiatives that place high demands on teachers. In order to overcome these obstacles, it was important to have a flexible schedule for teachers and to make sure the initial meetings were relevant to them and did not pose additional work. Because of my current responsibilities as a classroom teacher, it was sometimes difficult to find coinciding times during the day that would allow me to meet with other teachers or observe their classrooms. I was able to overcome lack of time for meetings by making myself available after school, which allowed the teachers to meet to discuss goals and expectations. However, because of overlapping teaching times, observations were much more challenging, which resulted in only one observation. Also, the initial intent of this Capstone project was to establish a relationship among my colleagues in order to integrate technology through collaboration, focusing on precise and valuable needs. Initially, administrators were supportive of collaborating meetings being optional for teachers. However, as the project progressed, administrators decided to deviate and make these meetings a requirement. This decision presented a challenge because it changed the necessary interaction of collaboration and interdependence between coach and teacher to one of complete dependence on the coach. This barrier was difficult to overcome in its totality, but it was not as evident towards the end of the project implementation. Finally, as I deviated from my original sole role of middle school technology coach to the additional role of workshop leader and presenter, the time constraints were even greater. Based on the integration debrief survey and the workshop feedback, the initiatives for professional development through peer coaching and community learning served as catalysts for diffusion of strategies for technology integration. Using a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest level of agreement, 25% of the teachers who participated in peer coaching in the middle school division answered 5 when asked if they would collaborate again in another unit or lesson, while 50% of them chose 4. This indicates teachers' positive disposition toward this type of professional development. Furthermore, the results of the workshop participants who provided feedback indicated an average level of interest. These numbers are not as high, with 3.69 being the highest in a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 indicated teachers learned a lot of useful information. This reveals that there is room for improvement in this area of professional development. In addition to a positive disposition for peer coaching, the results of this debrief provided valuable information about further meetings as well as meetings with other colleagues. 75% of the teachers indicated that the area of focus in which they would need more instructional coaching would be the authentic learning. This is sometimes difficult living in an expatriate community, but technology certainly proved to be a great solution for this authentic student learning problem. Finally, 37% of the peer coaching participants indicated that they would like to receive support in the technology implementation of the refined unit. I was able to coach only 2 of my colleagues through all the stages of the peer ed model as outlined by ILourie and his colleagues. In this model, there are stages that include assessing, setting goals, implementing activities, analyzing, and debriefing. From the conversations with the teachers that experienced the entirety of the model, I can infer that the 37% of participants that indicated their need of support with implementation were those who were able to experience the whole process and viewed it as valuable. Therefore, it is critical for successful and sustained implementation of technology that I, as a researcher, ensure that the teachers who have not implemented their technology enhanced units or lessons receive the necessary support at the appropriate time. As stated previously, the workshop approach to professional development is in need of improvement in the way it is presented and delivered. Since teachers will be required to attend these teacher-led workshops, it is important to present clear information about the purpose of the workshop, the specific strategies, resources, or tools that will be addressed, as well as the targeted grade levels and content areas. This will allow teachers to make an informed choice that will add value to their teaching practice and ultimately improve student learning. With the success of peer coaching in the middle school division, it is likely that other divisions will do the same. The ability of participating teachers to identify summer stages of the instruction is of particular importance as school moves towards establishing norms and expectations. Currently, there is a school-wide technology facilitator at TIS, but with the widespread of content areas and grade levels, many teachers do not approach him for their technology needs. As teacher leaders emerge, administration has opened up the conversation for the possibility of part-time positions for technology coaches throughout the divisions. This would be an adequate utilization of human and financial resources in the school. This Capstone project gave me a great opportunity to gain a better understanding of the knowledge, skills, and dispositions necessary for a technology facilitator or leader. I was able to interact with a variety of stakeholders through different platforms. This allowed me to experience the wide range of possibilities that open up with instructional technology leadership. At the initial stages of the project, it was important to demonstrate an understanding of the shared vision. The lessons I learned in the Instructional Leadership course were valuable to address the problem described in this Capstone proposal with the administration and leadership of the school. In order to make a compelling case to the proposed solution to the problem, it was imperative to show knowledge of effective use of technology to promote excellence and support transformational practices in Tianjin International School. A crucial component of the Capstone proposal was choosing the research design and selecting participants. Because this total school population is not large at about 400 students, it was tempting to aim at having a large enough scope to include all divisions. However, as I explored and studied possible outcomes, this presented many potential issues, such as a lack of familiarity with the learning community or relevant knowledge. Selecting a smaller sample in which I had spent more time to become familiar proved to be more effective. This was because a professional learning community of trust and understanding had already been established, which leveraged important benefits of community such as availability of knowledge and purposeful connection with peers. In the collaborating meetings, I was able to discuss ways to promote digital citizenship and responsibility during the learning activities. As we explored various resources, it was important to consider which of them were public and which had the availability to customize privacy settings. This would allow the collaborating team to decide what measures would be taken in order to promote safe, healthy, legal, and ethical uses of digital information among students. Furthermore, as digital tools and resources were evaluated and selected, discussions about diverse student needs, enhancing cultural understanding, and increasing global awareness were essential. I learned that having an established partnership relationship was key to guiding the collaborating teacher through these components of digital tool and resource selection. This relationship helped the collaborating teachers to shift from perceiving barriers only to embracing opportunities to promote digital citizenship and responsibility skills, as well as to enhance higher order thinking skills. Although the collaborating meetings were mandatory, I was able to infuse an adequate level of choice in the learning design in order to promote active learning among teachers. Finally, throughout the implementation process of this Capstone project, I engaged in personal learning activities that would further my knowledge, skills, and dispositions that would contribute to support teachers in meeting their goals. For example, there were many standards addressed by teachers which fell outside of my content expertise. In order to find appropriate tools and resources and provide adequate support in collaboration, it was essential for me to explore standards and become very familiarized with the content in them. In turn, I had to investigate the current and emerging technologies that would apply to the standards that would improve the collaborating teacher and my own professional practice. All in all, this experience was very rewarding. Even with all its challenges, I am confident that I have grown as a professional and a technology leader. Thank you so much for watching.